And welcome back. Well, here on Cattlemen to Cattlemen, we absolutely love to highlight the good work that's being done by cattle producers in and around their communities. Brian Baxter has more on a great event put on by the South Dakota Cattlemen's Foundation to help provide high-quality protein to those in need of nutrition.
For beef cattle producers in South Dakota, this is the biggest event of the year. It's called the Primetime Gala, and the room in Sioux Falls was packed full for the 10th annual event.
Every year, the South Dakota Cattlemen's Foundation puts on the Primetime Gala, and it is our largest event of the year. It's the largest fundraiser for Feeding South Dakota and the premier event in Sioux Falls that celebrates the work that the producers and ranchers do and the work that Feeding South Dakota is doing.
I think the reason the partnership has been so successful is producers really bought in very early and often, because the product that they work so hard to produce and they know the benefits of is exactly the product that Feeding South Dakota was in need of. And so it was such a good fit.
It's awesome to be here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota again to witness one of the premier events all across the country. The Primetime Gala has grown from an idea 11 years ago to now something that is given away in excess of 1.5 million pounds of beef to those that are food challenged.
Feeding South Dakota is the state's largest food bank, serving all 66 counties statewide. Too often, one of the gaps in the food that Feeding South Dakota supplies to those in need is beef. That's where the partnership with the South Dakota Cattlemen's Foundation has made a huge difference.
Proteins like beef are not always donated to us, and so as a food bank, partnerships with people like Cattlemen's Foundation allows us to get protein-rich beef into boxes to help families in need in South Dakota.
This is a program that actually looks for a solution, tries to put some beef on the plates of people that don't have the opportunity to buy some really high-quality protein that they need.
Well, I think as far as the community cause goes, you know, when you talk about food deserts, all those kinds of things, I think one of the things that falls out of that equation first is beef, high quality protein. And so I think it's important to get high quality protein on the plates of folks that really do need it in areas that are underserved in the nutrition department.
I think what most of the producers in South Dakota are the most proud of in this project is that the food bank has turned that $2 million into nearly 1.5 million pounds of beef for the consumption from people who really need it the most.
Over the past 10 years, the Primetime Gala has become more than a fundraising event for cattle producers to attend. It includes a great steak, a live auction, and a chance for producers and the community to connect and build relationships.
So what we do is we provide the steak for the banquet tonight. It's cattlemen feeding cattlemen. And then one of the major needs that we've discovered through this journey is that protein is lacking on the food donation side. And the donation that the Gala and the Cattlemen's Foundation provides is used 100% to buy beef.
It's become such a fun time to introduce people outside of our industry to producers. And then when they get to the event, they get served the best ribeye steak imaginable. They really love participating in the auction that happens that night. There's thousands of dollars worth of auction items. And then of course, we tap it off with a great night of country music. So the community that's come together has really contributed to the success of the event.
Then the neat part is the general public gets to come for our concert, and we take the proceeds that we make out of that concert and the proceeds that we make out of the gala, and that's what we give for our donation. So for somebody attending the Alabama concert, what better way to help contribute to your community than to get to take in a concert and then have that money go towards providing beef to those that need it so desperately.
Growing up in the beef industry, being a producer my whole life, it's like, I call it prom for the beef industry. We're all here, we get to see customers, neighbors, friends haven't seen, since last year or maybe years before. And the fact that we're able to be a part of the event and help with the donation is just another blessing.
And for the 10th year, the Primetime Gala achieved its primary mission of delivering an evening of great fun and the fundraising needed to keep beef in the mix for those served by Feeding South Dakota.
Everybody wondering where we're at? How's the check? $342,100. This brings our total over 10 years to $2.4 million. You people have made this possible. We will continue our efforts. Let's all end hunger in South Dakota and feed South Dakota.
And I would tell the listeners out there, you have the same ability to take an idea, however big and grandiose it is, and work together and make it a reality. So I challenge you. I challenge you to make a difference in your community like I know you can, and spread the message that beef is what's for dinner.
Reporting from the Primetime Gala in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, I'm Brian Baxter for NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen.